Hi Year 8 and welcome to the lesson for today. We're going to be focusing on Gothic poetry, so we're continuing our theme of the Gothic. What I would like you to do to get it started today is could you please make sure you've got today's date, the title, Gothic poetry, and we're looking at how do writers convey Gothic genre within their poetry. Once you've done that, just the do now task for today. What's the difference between horror and terror? Once you've got your ideas written down, start the video again and move on. So the reason I wanted you to think about the difference between horror and terror. Terror, first of all, is that idea of really extreme fear. It's usually to do with anxiety, whereas horror is to be more revolted by something. It's that feeling of revulsion or disgust or that sort of creepiness that comes around with something that you feel a genuine discomfort with. So what I want you to think, in that idea of horror and terror, Gothic usually tries to go for this feeling of horror. They want to revolt you, they want you to feel genuinely uncomfortable, not always terrified. Now, so for this, I want you thinking about whether Gothic texts need to be scary. And we're going to look at this today by looking at some of the poems. So, just to get you started, could you please make certain you've gone on to show my homework and you've got the 4 poems which are there and you've got the worksheet where you type into. Once you've got those, you'll be ready to start the lesson. So we're going to read and explore 4 poems today. Now, you don't have to understand absolutely everything in these poems. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing on a few particular bits of information I want you to get down from each of the poems. So first of all, Annabel Lee, We Are 7 is number 2. Number 3 is Christabel. And number 4 is The Raven. So 4 different poems, all from the Gothic period in literature, and you're going to spend 5 to 10 minutes per poem. Don't be tempted to spend longer on it than this. Give yourself 10 minutes, go over the poem, and you're going to get a feeling. And the only reason why you need to do this is look here. What you need to note down in your grid is the following information. You've got 1 row per poem, so there's 4 rows on your grid. Name of the poem here, what it's about, so what it seems to be about, any Gothic features that you can identify. So, for example, is there a tyrannical man, or is there a woman who's a victim? Are there ghosts? Is there a sense of murder? Is there something revulsion, some sort of feeling about graveyards or spookiness? Is there something creepy? What is it? Okay, and any quotations that support you on that. That's all you need to do for each poem. So don't spend ages trying to understand every little word and phrase. You don't need to for this. What we're looking at is how those Gothic features come across in the poems. Now, you're going to spend 10 minutes per poem. So you get 10 minutes and then you're going to move on. Once you've done that and you've worked through the poems, come back and start the video again to do the last task. So now, how are the poems that we've studied in the lesson today Gothic? So look back at that completed grid where you've got 4 columns and you've got the information for each of the poems. And all I want you to do for this part is take 5 minutes and you're going to explain what Gothic features you found in the poems. So what did you see that made those poems Gothic? How did you see this? So in other words, just refer to a couple of quotes to help you explain this. You don't have to refer to every poem, just the ones that you found Gothic features in, and which poem you thought was the most effective Gothic poem and why. So which of those poems did you think was the best poem or the most Gothic or the most interesting Gothic poem? So it could just be the poem that you liked the best and why. Okay, so we're looking at which one of these is the most effective. An effective poem doesn't just have to mean it's the best poem there. An effective poem could be the one that has the biggest effect on you. It can be the one that you like the most. It's your personal opinion. So be honest on it and refer to give a reason why. And then we trust you because you've given us a reason. Okay, look forward to reading your responses and well done, guys. Thank you.